What the fuck you mean you don't know DJ Mark B? You better preach it. Say that. Say that. Oh, you better go now.
What's up, my fellow prophets? It's Kev. Before we get into today's show, you can now go to 12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon for all of your online needs. I mean, it costs you absolutely nothing. Just hit the link and start shopping. Once again, that's 12osportsnetwork.com/Amazon. Just get the shopping, guys. Enjoy the show. Welcome to Preach Kev, Preach with Rashad. We are the prophets. Sitting episode, another sermon. Coming at you from 12 Ounce Sports, Zingo TV, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you can listen. Hey, Rashad, man, what's going on?
What's good, bro? How you been, man?
Man, chilling. It wasn't as hot today. Got rained on, but other than that, it was a good day. How about you?
Oh yeah, hot part. Summer turned into rainy summer for today.
You ain't lying about that. We got a guest today. No, shit, I think you've been on the show before. I think so. Way back when we was just starting off. Kiana Jones, what's up?
Hi. It's, out here. It's very warm. And I don't have much else to say because it's so hot I can't think.
Oh, we got you. The person behind all the profit merch and everything like that. So, we got to.
Shout out definitely with the logos and everything. We appreciate you, Kiana, man, for joining us in this episode. With NBA coming back, we decided to do a doctor's order with COVID going on, NBA bubble. So with the teams that's there, we got a what would the doctor give them if they want to win an NBA championship or have the chance to win? So we're gonna go through that. I think it's gonna be funny. We did it for Christmas episode for the football team. My man Rashad had the Texans getting a nurse, Kawhi Fuller and J.J. Watt, and
everybody hurt.
Guys was always hurt. So I think it's gonna be pretty fun. So just start off, man. What do y'all think about all the scrimmage games going on?
They're cool. It's kind of weird. It's a little jarring with no fans and just kind of getting used to the look of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure as these 8 games progress and the playoffs get kicked off, that it'll be more palatable to watch these teams. I haven't seen a whole ton of them, but the ones I have seen, I got adjusted pretty quickly. But at first, it is like, ain't nobody out here, a lot of feet screeching. And and like get that out of here. So I just got to get used to that. It sounds like 2K with the crowd noise up.
No, the only thing I care about with the no fans is I'm gonna watch hopefully they make the playoffs, but I'm gonna watch every Blazer game just to hear my boy Melo hit that quote. And y'all know what I'm talking about on that rebound.
I'm gonna say he already did it today already.
I know that.
I mean,
that's the only. I'm watching the Blazer game just to hear Melo say that. But, I haven't really got into the scrimmages too much just because they are scrimmages.
Right.
But I want to see how it plays out because it's going to be interesting with, not only the home crowd's going crazy on free throws. Now guys just got to stand there and knock them down. The crowd can kind of get you back in a momentum swing from down 18, down 20, but now there's no crowd. So you may still lose by the 18 or 20. It's going to be interesting to see how some of the certain games kind of play out. You might not hear get distracted, the shot clock going down. So just certain little nuances of the game, you can't hear the play being called out or what somebody telling you to cut, go back door or something like that. So just the nuances of the game from a home road difference are going to be erased.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I think you got LeBron talking about some just had my first pregame nap in so long. I was like, okay, well, we'll see what you do tonight in your 10 minutes of playing. You're not going to play a lot. And I was mad because I finally got to watch, I think it was Kings and the Heat. Jimmy Butler wasn't playing. Bam was already sitting down. I was like, man, I got to the game too late. And it felt like a preseason game, almost like, cause I was like, man, I can't wait for the actual games to start and make it actually mean something. Because right now you're just getting your feet wet, and we're gonna see what happens. So in this doctor's orders, where you want to start at, Rashad?
I mean, let's start in the West, man. That's kind of like the hot topic of everybody's leaning LA or LA for the title. So let's kind of start on that end of the coast.
All right, let's go with you know what? I thought that they were on the news a lot yesterday because of the starting lineup they had. So let's start off with the Denver Nuggets.
Oh yeah,
Jokic at point guard. shout out JB, man. They out there creating these strange lineups. Millsap at the three, ball, bubble ball, better than playoff Paul George. Playoff P. You know, give me bubble ball. I feel like you got something to say.
Didn't he get called in for a test?
Oh yeah. 16 points, 10 rebounds. Yes, in 6 blocks. That's immediate random drug test.
Yeah, they acting like Bo when doing that in college though.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly. So all right, Rashad. You got something for the Denver Nuggets as far as what the doctor ordered?
Man, the Denver Nuggets, they are kind of like in a weird spot because they could draw one of the top seed, well, not a top seed, but like a top team on like the bottom end of the seeding. So for Denver, man, they just need pure luck. That's all they need, pure luck. But more importantly, you know, they need their health, and they've kind of gotten their back with, you know, Porter, Bobo, Gary Harris, guys like that. They kind of been banged up. So to me, the doctor is ordering them just a lucky break. That's really all they need because you got to get through the whole West. So they need luck as far as like a star player gonna catch COVID. They get a good matchup. They need a whole lot of luck on their side, man. So, you know, kind of like the Drake OVO thing. They need a good owl or something, man. Cause owls are like signs of luck. They need an owl, man.
I think I went kind of a little harsh on when I say mine, and for the doctor, I think the doctor ordered them some life alerts because like you talked about the health issues, Ball, Porter Jr. is the reason why they got point guards and shooting guards not starting. Like they broke it down, and they, like you said, they need the luck, and it's like we need some life alerts because somebody gonna go down again, and it just like the injury bug living in Denver right now. So that's what I would say.
I mean, looking at the rest of their schedule, luck would be in their best bet. They kind of come off a little bit, you know, they have Miami first. Oklahoma City could be a test. San Antonio, I don't really think is a test for too much of anybody. And then it's Portland, Utah, LA, and then Toronto. So, yeah, they for sure need some lifelines and a little bit of a little owl or somebody, whoever, a 7 on a dice roll or something. They don't need it.
That's funny. Yeah. So, what do y'all think about that lineup, though? Like, how long you think this is gonna last?
It's a scrimmage. They have fun.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you don't think? Well, see, the thing is, Jokic always bring the ball to the court anyway. Like,
I mean, they've been doing it for like 5 to 7 minutes in a game, depending upon how some foul trouble looking, or just to throw a look out, something like that. But they're not gonna be running that full time. Like, it's just a wrinkle to the offense. I'm not tripping off of it.
But
it was fun to watch and see.
Yeah,
but I don't think it'll last too much longer.
I've seen a lot. Like if you watch him, like Jamal Murray bring the ball to the court, Jokic come get it, like as if he's the point guard of the team. And you know, I mean, kind of he really is. You think about it, like he's the one that's usually lead the team in assists and everything like that. So yeah, it's fun to watch. I'm glad Ball is healthy. I feel like Denver Nuggets had capitalized on 2 guys already with Ball and Michael Porter Jr. as far as health issues. And if they ever get healthy and they can stay,
man, excellent draft steals.
Man, you talking about a team like you already got Jokic as a steal, and then you get these 2 guys who can ball can space the floor. Like those 2 guys are shooters. Like it's scary if they ever like stay healthy and stay sound.
Yeah, I don't know if this is their year, but they got a solid foundation for going forward. This year, I ain't gonna tell them to hang it up, but like they should start taking it off a little bit and like start to put it to the side.
Right.
But you know, they're building a good foundation for a season that runs a little bit more normally, quote unquote, whatever normal will be later.
Right.
I feel like Denver's gonna always be that franchise that kind of gets stuck in the middle of like they could be good, but they don't really have that. If Jokic is your one, who's like your second best player, you know, or when you got LA, you got Bron and AD, two top 7 players. You got Kawhi and Paul George. If they're healthy, that's 2 top 10 players. So you got the Rockets, that's Harden and Russ, that's 2 top 10, 2 top 12 players. You know, they're kind of Denver is a talented team, but they're just kind of going to be always, to me, be a great regular season team, but going to get stuck in the playoffs every year because they just don't have that next gear like the other teams, as far as like just a top player with a more experienced coach to a certain degree.
Let's go on to the Grizzlies. This is a team that surprised a lot of people this season. Being the AFC with being led by a lot of young guys, John Morant, Dylan Brooks. You got what's the small forward from Gonzaga? Brandon Clark, my boy Giannis, aka Travis Kelce at center. And then you got a bunch of young guys, and this team, nobody really thought they'll be here, and here they are rebuilding. Let Gasol go last year in the trade. Let Conley go. No more Zebo. No more the Rudy Gays of the world. That whole grit and grind era was gone. So because they all new guys, the life alert, not life alert, the doctor's orders would be, you remember those like Fred Flintstone vitamins?
Yeah, they taste like chocolate.
The chewable. Well, that's what the doctor ordered because they have to grow up real fast, and like if they can muster this tough schedule that they got, which the NBA did it on purpose to make sure they'll make it. If they can grow up, they can still make the playoffs and I guess shock a lot of people because the NBA don't want them in there, as you can tell by the schedule. The fans don't really want to see no Memphis versus Lakers. They rather see Zion or at least give me Dame in the 8th spot. So if they can grow up, over the next 2-3 weeks, then hey, watch out for the Grizzlies. They're gonna get swept, but at least watch out for these 8 games.
I kind of went along those same lines of how they need to grow up. So I just said the doctor's ordering them some bricks so they can build a foundation of experience in these kind of clutch moments.
Yeah.
And then going forward, Ja Morant's a rookie, Brooks, Jackson, all those guys, they're all young. So a tough 8-game stretch plus probably at max 5 playoff games, because I don't think they'll get into a 6 or 7 game series. So either get swept or be a gentleman sweep, 4 or 5 playoff games. So you'll get 12 games of high pressure, clutch moments that you got to step up in. So just some bricks to kind of build upon the young foundation that they're already having.
I mean, a question to y'all would be, they're in the 8th spot right now with Portland right behind them. And with the play-in rules, if Portland's within 4 games of Memphis, they play for a spot, to switch out or whatever, to stay in. So do you think the Grizzlies could run with Portland to win 2 games and then make it to the Lakers?
That's gonna be tough. Because when you talk about Dame Lillard, who we've seen his playoff, at least first round performance and how clutch he is, and to put him on that stage when it's like him versus like young guys, it's like he has to win. Like if he don't, we're gonna criticize him, and by us I mean the media, as far as like, oh, Dame can't even do this, and I don't think he want to live with that, because we all know that he need to leave Portland if he want to win a championship, but he don't want to leave, so he gonna have to win. Like he can't be keep losing and giving us reasons why to tell him like, you got to go, you got to get out of here because you're not gonna win nowhere else.
Yeah, that's what when I look at. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. Dame got to get out of there, man.
When I look at the Grizzlies, like you said, they're very young. They need to grow up. And I just don't know if the schedule that they have, because Portland will give them that run at 9. I don't know if they have what it takes to grind out 8 more games in the season, face a veteran, quote unquote veteran. I mean, it's Dame and CJ with a couple other guys sprinkled around. Face
Hey,
that
watch
team.
out, man. My boy Melo there. Like, he didn't even say Melo.
Okay, I mean, if you need to hear it,
That's
Melo's
crazy.
there too. I don't think they can grind it out against those guys with all their issues in other places. And Portland still, I think, comes out of that and has, Memphis sees their chances go from that very small window to do something in the playoffs against the Lakers to being slammed shut. So
Anything else you want to add, Rashad, about the Grizzlies?
Nah, man, just they need some bricks to get their foundation right.
Let's go to a team. So let's talk about the Blazers. We talked about I don't know. You seen Charles Barkley said that if they get that 8th seed and they play the Lakers, that he think that they will beat them. So Rashad, what do you have about the orders for the Blazers?
Man, I like Charles Barkley, but I think he was just kind of going for a kind of a hot take because he already had to kind of give the caveat of if they even get in. So
Right.
when you're already wondering if somebody's going to even get in, you probably shouldn't even be trying to go hit a hot take like that, man. But the Blazers, the doctor needs to get them some chemistry because you're adding back 2 guys in Collins and Nurkic. Plus, you got to still figure out, the whole add these guys back in. So who do you take minutes from to give them to these guys?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they need to give them chemistry, man, because it's going to be kind of – you had time off. Guys are getting back in shape, stuff like that. I know people always say, oh, well, if the Blazers would have been healthy, there would have been this XYZ seed, whatever, all that kind of silly stuff. Well, they probably wouldn't have made none of the trades or moves they made if those guys were healthy. So you wouldn't just have the same team just sit right here in front of you this year. So I think they need to give the chemistry because you're adding back some key pieces, pieces that they deem pretty valuable. So now are you going to take the Whiteside out and put Nurkic back in? Or are you going to bring Nurkic off the bench? Like, just a lot of stuff with egos, minutes, all kind of stuff could kind of get rough unless everybody kind of buys in, is on the same page of let's just do whatever we got to do to get to that 8 spot. And from there, we'll take it one game at a time against whoever's number 1 and try to make, a historic run from the 8 seed.
for the Blazers, I really just prescribed them one big man a game. Like you said, they're kind of heavy at that big position. So somebody's got to clean up where Whiteside isn't on defense. Because once you start getting outside of the paint, especially we've seen him, he get a little heavy. He can't move. He don't know what to do. So you need somebody that's going to be able to pick up where he left off. I mean, Frank Collins, he's cool, but I mean, I still don't really trust him in that position either. And then somebody's got to clean up that rebounding issue again. Like Whiteside is cool around the rim, but you're gonna need somebody to pick up where he lacks. So in addition to chemistry, they got to find that one big man that's gonna lead the big man group, and then be that guy for them. And I don't think it's Whiteside. So
No, I was about to say, well, Whiteside had his fun during the season, but yeah, Nurkic and Zach Collins coming back, those two together in the front court, like they do something different for the Blazers. And you talking about Zach Collins, 7 foot, who can shoot the ball, Nurkic, who can do a lot of things, like he can pass, rebound, all different things that help out Dame and CJ. But it's kind of like I think the Dodgers got to order them like a slight time machine because they gonna need Melo from a couple years back, because this whole time I've been preaching for like the last 4 years, like if they get a front court scorer who can give them 20, like the Blazers can do something. You're not relying on your 6'2" guards to score 50 a piece if you want to beat the likes of the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Rockets and so on. So if they can channel that inner, Denver Nugget Melo or even New York Knicks Melo, who can come back and he can be efficient and put up 20 during this stretch, the Blazers have a chance. And I'm not gonna go to the level of beating the Lakers, but I mean, you can lose 4-2. I think they can put the Lakers they can push them because Lakers can't guard the guard position. You can't stick Anthony Davis on Dame. You can't stick LeBron on Dame. So it's like he's gonna get his. And if Melo is feeding LeBron or Davis, whoever it is, it could be a tough series for the Lakers. So if they can channel the inner Melo, go get him back from the past, then the Blazers can do something. Not a lot.
And they have the luxury. I mean, in the case of Carmelo, who has slimmed down to fit his new role, They have
Any
the luxury uh of condensed season, so people are already putting an asterisk in some places. So it's like you could go hard right here because whatever you do, people, as long as you don't get embarrassed, people are gonna give you a little bit of leeway. So I mean, they got the opportunity to go as hard as they want to right now in 8 regular season games. Go as hard as they want to, see where they at, and really make a push, like you said, at the Lakers. Will I don't know if they'll win that series, but they can push them to the brink of you saying like, okay, we see what the Blazers are doing. Nobody's writing off Melo anymore the way that people had in the past. So let's see what they do in the 2020-2021 season. So this is a good time for them to start to stack some chips and look like somebody out west.
Uh, let's move on to the Houston Rockets. Both their stars already had was what got COVID, and they had to join the team later. I don't think they've been both been cleared yet. Um, but you talking about James Harden and Russell Westbrook, in this team, man, both of those guys are playing at an extremely high level. I think a lot of people were very wrong saying that they couldn't play together, and I never understood why they thought that, because you got two guys who going to show up every night, and even if James is having a bad shooting night, Russ is going hard, or vice versa. Russ keeps shooting too many threes, and James Harden put up a 45 point game. So I thought these guys like really like balanced each other very well. So I gave them the dollars orders for this one is a big heart, because when you're rolling out 6'5" at center, 6'5" at power forward, 6'4" small, and so forth, like you to play against these guys, to play against Anthony Davis, to play against Portland with three bigs out there, like you have to have a big heart, and to get these rebounds and to create opportunities for yourselves, because offensively it's like you miss a shot, you go back on defense because you have no chance at the second chance points. You got Russ and PJ who do battle hard down there, but then again, you're only 6'4", you're only 6'5", so how much can you really do, and especially consistently. So their big heart, if they get one and they have one, I think the Rockets have a chance to not only go like to win a series, but even a chance to go to the finals. Like this, if Harden and Westbrook can be that 1-2 punch, they can compete with the best duos in the game in the West. Kawhi and Paul George, they can compete with LeBron and Davis on any given night. So we'll see what the Rockets do, but I'm gonna give them the big heart.
Man, the Rockets were unintentionally already gifted, and that's the COVID-19. Yeah, Russ and Harden both had positive symptoms, but I think this 3-month, quarantine, season shutdown kind of benefits those guys, because the knock on Russ and Harden is always they have to go through the 82 game season grind, basically at the number one option. That didn't have to happen this year, so you got a chance to not have to play all 82 games at an MVP triple double like level, which they both do. You don't have to worry about going straight from that to the playoffs, trying to carry your team and try to beat a Steph, Clay, KD type Warriors team. So they've kind of already been gifted by COVID-19. You don't have to worry about a juggernaut team. You got your 3 months rest. So these guys, even though they were kind of quarantined the last few minutes, but last few months, they should be able to come back and win a big series and potentially make the West Finals if the matchup shake out just right, because they have no excuse of, Russ is tired this time, Harden is tired this time. Everybody's playing under unique circumstances. So I think, like you said, their chemistry's been pretty off the charts. So they should be able to gel, and either one can carry at any point in the game, and they should be able to win the title, potentially win the title.
They need some poise too, because we've seen them more. When I say them, I really mean more so James Harden. When the going gets tough, they don't get going sometimes, and it's a lot of breaking down when it comes to production. So sometimes it could be Russ is trying to force his way back into the game, and he's totally bombing. And how does James Harden account for that? What if they're both off? Because we've seen if James Harden ain't getting it going on offensively, not even if he wanted to, he can't get it done defensively. So it's like how these guys need some poise. They need poise from their leader, which is something I think they benefited a little bit from when having Chris Paul, a veteran guy who was a lot more even keel sometimes. So how can they get poise from Russell Westbrook, who's a firecracker, and James Harden, who tends to clam up in some big moments? So that's what I would order them, some poise.
I like it. I like it. Um, Another team in the West, the Mavericks. Now I struggle a lot with the Mavericks because you got a guy who was a rookie of the year last year. Now he's one of the best players in the league. And you got Porzingis coming along. So I don't know. Maybe the doctors need to order them some more Americans because outside of the 2 Euro guys, like who else? Who else can you count on? Can you count on Tim Hardaway? Can you count on Courtney Lee? Um, I mean, can you count on Nerlens Noel for defense? It's a lot of guys that you don't know who to count on. So I don't know. We need to get some more maybe some more European guys over there or what? Because if this team Dallas, like, they really took a step forward, and something's like, you don't really. I didn't expect them to be this good. I didn't expect Luka to take this superstar leap, and it's kind of like they're in the middle where it's like, yeah, they're having a great season, but are you scared of the Mavericks? And I don't know if I am.
I mean, I agree with that. They kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, we kind of thought they would be on the radar as far as making a playoff push, but not to the extent of what they're doing. Being one of the best teams in the league. But Luka has hella potential, but we didn't think he would be a MVP candidate this year. I mean, the dude could probably win Most Improved. Look at his numbers. Like,
right.
Dude's almost in a triple-double. So, yeah, we definitely kind of, I don't say missed on them, but definitely are surprised by how great they've been. And I'm the same, man. I kind of struggle with what to label the Mavs because outside of Luka and Porzingis, what do you really
I don't know.
like, how confident are you really in them, man?
Yeah.
So that's what the doctor needs for them. They need a supporting cast. They need a cast.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you said that the Rockets need some heart. I mean, I think the Mavs could use some heart or at least some bark that's bigger than they bite because, like you said, nobody was really worried about them. So if you're going to be here, then you need to make sure that people at least remember you.
Right.
Don't go out sad is what I would say.
I like it. Yeah, because it's like the Dallas team. We knew they were going to be good at some point. We knew coming along. I mean, we had we wanted Kemba to go there, Middleton to go there, just because we knew they needed somebody else, and they done a remarkable job. And when you have somebody who take that next step, that next level, big things seem to happen. And you see in the West, Luka and Porzingis is just enough. Let's move over to the other LA team, the one that's coming out of nowhere. They're talking a lot. LA Clippers, Doc Rivers and them boys, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Lou Will. I gave these guys Ritalin because they need to calm down. Like it's always somebody talk. I mean, outside of Kawhi and PG, really don't be saying that much. But the Lou Will, he always got to say why he's a sixth man, and even though he playing 35 minutes a night, you got Harold always talking. Pat Bev, oh my gosh. I mean, he's a dog, but you talking about Dallas need bark. He need to give some of his over there to Dallas to Luka, who if he's had one, it makes more sense than Pat Bev. But I'm gonna give him Ritalin because they just need to calm down and just play. Like, if everybody can be Kawhi, like it's such a better team, and people won't get that annoyance for the Clippers who haven't won anything yet.
Yeah, they've had a few guys kind of leave the bubble for, I guess, family reasons, stuff like that. So that's kind of starting to be a concern. But I guess they will be allowed to, return. I'm not sure if they have the quarantine or not, but I know they may let those guys return. But the main thing with the Clippers has always been, what is Paul George? And he claims he's playoff P. Well, the doctor needs you to get this access code, my brother, so you can activate playoff P, because you didn't, you've been in the playoffs, you put up some great numbers and stuff like that, but I won't say it's his fault, but the last few years, he hasn't made out the first round. The last time he kind of went deep in the playoffs was with the Pacers when LeBron was still with the Heat. It's like LeBron had 3 different lives since the Heat. So, it's still like a minute. So hopefully we can get playoff P activated and him and Kawhi can make something happen.
Pat Beverly, you brought him up earlier, Kevin. I don't know if there's anybody that gets on my nerves more than Patrick Beverly. He's so loud. He's so loud for no reason. Like he's very hyperactive on the court and it seems unproductive at times. Like he doesn't really put himself in the best position to help the team. So it is a lot of like yap, yap, yap. But when we look at your stats, like what have you really done but be in the way and run all around the court? So, I mean, as much as I like the Clippers as an organization, I would not be too hurt if they got bounced out early, just because I'm tired of seeing that.
That's funny. I mean, I guess like you always need that type of guy on your team that's going to do the dirty work, quote unquote.
But I mean, be good at it though.
I mean,
every guy, every team needs a crazy guy. Like I can't think of not one team that won a title without a crazy guy or somebody who didn't mind pushing people's butts. Like with the Bulls, you had Jordan's the best player, so he is a little crazy in his own way, but you still had a guy like Dennis Rodman there. The Rockets had Maxwell. So I mean, you always kind of got to have some kind of crazy guy or at least a driving force to kind of push the envelope a little bit.
I guess it's
but like Dennis Rodman was good at what he was doing, and like Ron Artest was good at what he was doing, even though he was a little off. So like
right.
Patrick Beverly, I'd love for him to be loud and proud of his position and his team, but at some point you gonna need to be good at it. And that's all I want from Patrick Beverly. To actually, I don't know if the doctor can prescribe being good, but like be good while you.
I get what you're saying. But it's like to me, do the Clippers really need Pat Bev like in the playoffs? I mean, because you got Reggie Jackson, Lou Will, you got Shamet. I think Shamet did, right?
Use him. I mean, it's just like Draymond Green. He's an irritant. You got to use him. He's not the talent level of Dennis and Draymond, stuff like that. But when you just want to get in there and muck the we finna put you in here. Go get up in their chest, talk a little trash, get them rattled a little bit, get them out their game, and we'll put somebody else in for some scoring.
All right. Hey, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
That's what's needed to get to that next level. I'm Rob Pennell, and I'm going to teach you how to be an offensive machine.
All right, and we're back. Let's move on to another team in the West. Let's stay in LA. Lakers. Rashad, what you got?
Oh man, the Lakers, what they need is they just need the gift of, it's hard for a doctor to order health, but they need this LeBron and AD to stay healthy. So get them some masks, some vitamins, emergency, and you can get LeBron and AD because once LeBron or AD goes, your title hopes kind of go with them. So get them everything. One of their men's health, emergency, all the masks they need, N95s, whatever LeBron and AD need, make sure they have it because I don't care what pieces are around them. I think those two guys together can win the title. But you need both those guys.
Keon?
I just think they need some bounce. They need some get up and go. They're in a good position, and they don't need to fall back on just thinking they can win, or just kind of going through the motions. They need some bounce. They need some fight every night. Underdog, got to make it happen. They got to feel like they can lose at any moment. That's what they need.
Yeah, I'm going with you right along with both of y'all. I got them. Doctor's orders is a bodyguard because, like you say, Rashad, they have to stay healthy. You surrounded with bodyguards. Anybody coming 10 feet, like you out of here. Like don't mess with this two tandem, LeBron and AD because, like you said, it doesn't matter if Kuz scoring 15 or 10, Rondo being hurt, it's a loss. But I still got LeBron and Anthony Davis. Like Dwight Howard was debating whether he can come back or not. Well, we still got Davis. I got JaVale McGee. Like they got enough pieces around the Morris, even the Jared Dudley. Like they got enough people. As long as LeBron and Davis is there, like Keanu mentioned, like they need to realize that they can win. So don't lay up. Who do y'all think that the Lakers sweep the awards, MVP and Defensive Player of the Year? With Brogdon and Davis, you don't think so? Yeah, me neither. So are we all?
They might not even get one. Like I think Giannis is the MVP and AD is the defensive player, but you never know how the votes gonna fall out. I mean, they may want to give Giannis both of them. You just never know how it's gonna fall.
Yeah, I don't see why. I for sure don't see either one of them in the MVP conversation. Even though I feel like LeBron is never out of the MVP conversation. But yeah, I don't. If anything, Defensive Player of the Year is one of theirs, Anthony Davis's. But I don't know if either of them get any MVP nods.
All right, I'm with y'all. I'm Team Giannis from MVP. Another team, the Pelicans. Zion has left the bubble, and the doctor's orders is I feel like the Pelicans are one of those teams is like, it's something wrong with you. You know it. You go to the doctor and, you don't get the best news. They tell you you got like a 20% chance to make it to whatever. And I feel like that's one of them teams because, yes, Brandon Ingram having a great season. Zion is being Zion and Lonzo even having to step up. But it's like, I don't know if they get the playing game is only 8-9, right? It's not more than that, is it?
No, it's just 8-9.
I don't know if they get the 9. Like the NBA laid it up for them to have an easy schedule, and I still think the Blazers get that. So I'm gonna go with the like you go and you get some bad news and you just got a 20% chance to make it, and it is what it is. You got to stomach that how you want to stomach it. The league won't get what they want, and they want Zion, and I don't think they get that.
Yeah, they definitely need some friends and family beside them in their final days because it's about to be a wrap.
Yeah, Pelicans, I mean, intriguing story. If they had Zion, you would definitely give them a better chance. But with Zion possibly not playing, you really can't count them in to even get to that 8 or 9 spot.
We probably tie all these three teams together. Suns, Kings, and Spurs. Any y'all got anything individually or special for one of them?
No.
When the Suns, I just say the doctor needs to give them a realistic outlook on the season because they're not going to the playoffs. So they need to just go ahead and. I mean, I'm not saying don't stop playing, don't just stop playing, but also like don't expect to go any further than where you currently are. Like they're 26-39 right now, which I don't really think records matter anymore. Just looking at their last few opponents. So that's the Wizards, who are not good. So that could be a win. The Mavericks, the Clippers, the Pacers, the Heat, Oklahoma, the 76ers, and the Mavericks again. So they would need to win all 8 of them games. Then they need Portland to not win anymore, New Orleans to not win anymore, San Antonio, Sacramento, and Memphis to all be terrible for them to even have a shot. So they just need to be realistic. They need to, start getting their ducks in order because it's about to be a flight home soon.
All I'm gonna say is hashtag free D book until it's the other way around. Hashtag D book free. So Suns, you ain't got it. Kings, I think that'd be fun to watch, but Bagley being hurt, Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge being hurt, I just don't think missing your star player is any chance to help you win. Well, not even star, just even any type of big key contributor. So I think both of these guys are going. Both of these teams, all three, they just had no shot, and they're just here because they want to give some other teams some run. So we won't see all the playoff matchups happen so fast.
Oh yeah, it's mainly just for TV revenue, local and NBA wise.
Let's move on to the East. While we talk about those teams, I think the Wizards, Nets, and the Magic are all in the same boat. Without Bradley Beal, no shot. And without Kevin Durant or Kyrie, no shot for the Nets and Wizards. I mean, they relying on Jamal Crawford up there in Brooklyn. So the Magic, I mean, they're all their guys, but I like Steve Clifford, I like Vucevic and all those guys, Evan Fournier. But until somebody emerges as a star, if somebody got to take like a Luka leap for the Magic to ever be what they were. Like, because think about it, Shaq, Howard, when they was there, they was like top 5 players in the league at that time. And Orlando did got a bunch of guys, and they're never going to take that next step, which is be a 4 or 5 seed and actually do anything. So Magic, they got a lot of good guys, but they just ain't got no stars. So Magic, they in the same boat as the rest of them.
Yeah,
oh no, go ahead.
I like Steve Clifford, but yeah, Magic, they're out of there. That's all.
I said the Nets need a cat scan because they're a little bit delusional. So we got to see if they all right. Because, like you said, they don't got no Kyrie. There's no KD. And no Spencer Dinwiddie. So there is no chance. Like, they're seventh right now. So, of course, they'll be in the playoffs. But they'll probably face Toronto in the first round. And somebody on their team like, oh, we feel like we got a good chance. We played them before. But in their last 4 matchups, they've lost 3 of them. And the one that they won, they only won by 10 points because of Spencer Dinwiddie and some like heavy production from somebody else. And then they got blown out by the Pelicans last night or a night or two ago. So, you'll get to the playoffs because you were okay before all of this started, but you won't be there long. And I don't know why they feel like they have a chance. Everybody need a little bit of that Pat Beverly in them, but don't expect to be around long.
Yeah, the only thing about they need the order for closure because it could probably be Jamal Crawford's last NBA games. I mean, sadly as it is, it'll probably be his last few NBA games, and hopefully it's the guys that are gonna play. They can kind of come to grips with their position on the team because this is gonna be the last time you get to take all these shots. Your shots going straight down.
I was gonna say, yeah, Durant taking 20. Kyrie gonna get 25. Hey, Karis LeVert, this is his chance though, right here, to like go crazy, and I think he got the chance to do so. Karis LeVert is a problem, and nobody really gonna watch him. I think if Brooklyn and Raptors meet in the first round, that'd probably be the least watched series, just because nobody care about Brooklyn, and Toronto. I mean, Canada team, so it's like how much why we're gonna pay attention, but Karis LeVert has a chance. If him and Jamal Crawford give me a game where they both get 40, I think I'm good. I mean, they can get 40. Who's gonna shoot the ball?
Joe Harris.
They can get 40 if they the only ones playing. Like, are they gonna be the only ones in the gym?
Why they coming out?
Man, they better bring a big appetite. They what they need from the doctor, a big appetite.
Yeah, because they need to eat.
About to eat at the court, man. I'm trying to tell you. Let's go to the Sixers. I don't know how I was trying to get here, but when I explain it, it makes a lot of sense. So the doctors told them when they came in, like, hey, you have to lower your cholesterol. You gotta start eating all these fatty foods and stuff like that because y'all gotta start clogging up the hole. Like y'all gotta space it out. We need some guards out there. Like I don't want Ben Simmons, Embiid, Horford, and then Tobias on the court at the same time. I'm sorry. Like Elton Brand, I don't know what kind of structure you was doing when you putting this team together, but I'm glad that you got Glenn Robinson, you got my boy Cork Miles over there. Like you need to put those guys on the court because you got to open up your arteries, man. Because this is the only way I see Sixers taking advantage of teams because going big, you're not even going to see the Bucks. Like you went big to see the Bucks, and you're probably not even going to see them.
Yeah, to your point, if they're gonna start trying to lower anything, they should let's start by lowering your cholesterol. It's time for some Cheerios, not the honey nut kind. And that means that Al Horford gonna have to sit down. Like, let's go ahead and give him a lot of rest, a lot of social distancing, put him at the end of the bench. Cause we don't, like you said, they're too forward heavy. They got so many forwards on one team. Somebody's gotta go, and it's gotta be Al Horford. When he was part of their big three, they were almost dead last points per possession. Like
can't score in that half court. Like now
it's time to get rid of somebody, and I feel like it should be Al Horford. Simmons is in this new position. He's not a guard anymore. I think they're about to start transition him to like small forward. So yeah, somebody got to sit down. I feel like it should be Al Horford.
Yeah, I got the Sixers going to a NASA training because they learn about spacing, all of that. Like, bro, y'all can't be trying to do all this posting up, clogging the lane, running half court sets. That's just not how the league works. You got to be able to get jump shots up, run at some points, and then when it comes down to it, you need that bucket. Throw it down to Embiid, throw it down to Ben, throw it down to Horford. That's like your guaranteed go-to bucket. But as far as just let's just do this all the time. No, you need to go to a NASA training, learn about space.
I like that. Yeah, so we all agree about that because like I don't know what I mean. I get the reason for Al Horford, Embiid injured all the time, and you never know what's going to happen. I understand that, but you paid Tobias Harris, who doesn't want to play the 3. He wants to be the 4. So what happens if none of them get hurt? Now what? So and even then, Ben Simmons, you put Ben Simmons at the 4, and you put the Josh Richardsons, Glenn Robinson, who's the other guy they got from the Warriors? Alec Burks. You put those three on the court with Simmons. You talk about how hard that is to guard because one, the biggest guy out of those 4, he's the point guard. And the other guys can shoot, knock down shots, and they can go over there. Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson can hoop, and Josh Richardson can hoop. So like this, if you mix and match those lineups, then I can see Sixers doing something and going pretty far. But yeah, this whole clogging the lane up and having Al Horford and Embiid shoot 5 threes a game, that's 4 threes too many. All right, let's move on to another team. The Heat, Miami Heat, the surprising Miami Heat. When they got Jimmy Butler, I said the doctor orders like they went to the eye doctor and said they need some glasses because I don't know who they think they are. Like they got the fans delusional, thinking they about to get Giannis for Kendrick Nunn in the first round, thinking they gonna get Bradley Beal, thinking they gonna get Oladipo. Like the list goes on, and then Bam's a top 5 center. Come on, guys. Oh, Tyler Hero's I love Tyler Hero. I'm a Kentucky fan. I'm a ride for my guys. But come on, y'all putting them in this pedestal that they're not there yet. Kendrick Nunn had a great opening start, and he done came back down to earth, and yet they think they can get Kendrick Nunn. The Hero is going to get me LeBron James. No, it's not going to do. You're not going to get none of these guys. Okay, so let's relax. Y'all need some glasses. Look in the mirror and see who you really are. And I mean, Rashad, you was like, man, fans gonna kill you for last week when I didn't mention them in the upper echelons of the East. And I was like, because I think they're going to be the Pacers of last year. Whoever they play in the second round, they're going to give them trouble. Well, first round. They're going to give them trouble whether it's Raptors, Sixers, Bucks, Celtics. But I don't think they have enough to actually win the series.
Yeah, they bully to pop their bubble, man, because they are just like feeling themselves way too much, bro.
Yeah, it's time to see. I mean, they're not bad.
No, they're a good team.
Again, they're one of those teams that are just like, all right, well, okay, cool. Like they don't really scare anybody. I mean, they could maybe stun you a game or two, a game and a half. They're not hard to figure out, and then once you're not hard to figure out, you're not hard to beat. So,
yeah, exactly. When the same team playing over and over again. Let's go on to the Celtics. Rashad, what you got?
Oh man, I'm pretty high on the Celtics, man. I think they have the perfect roster, the talent pool, the coach. I think under this COVID situation, it's going to be a lot of AAU type ball of so many games and so many days. And I think the younger guys can get back in shape a little bit faster. They don't take as long to get warmed up. So I think the Celtics do have a realistic shot at the title. Granted, everybody's favoring the Bucks from the East, but I think the Celtics do have a pretty good shot at winning the title. So, I went with their symbol, man. The Lucky Charms, a box of cereal, man. Eat your Lucky Charms, and you can maybe wind up in the NBA Finals, man.
Yeah, I would get them. What do they call them little things that you rub together and you shock a chest? I don't know what those are called. But I would get
Paddles?
them one of those. Whatever. I would get them one of those before every game, just to like shock them back to life and like, you here, this is your moment. Jaylen Brown, here you are. We're ready to see you. Jason Tatum, here you are. We're ready to see you. Brad Stevens, here we are. We're ready to see you. Like just before every game, just shock them back to life and let them know like you are alive. You're here. This is your moment and this is your time. I mean, like Rashad said, you can wind up and be in the NBA Finals if you play the cards right. So.
I would say just not too long ago there was Game 7 versus LeBron. So, you know me, I'm always ride with the best player in the East to make the finals. But I can agree. Celtics do have a good chance. They do have a good roster. Gordon Hayward's coming back along, and if he was paid to be the guy, and if he's the fourth guy, oh God, what I'm saying, that can be scary for a lot of teams and how they match up. And Tatum playing a lot of forward this year because they got to get all the guys on the court. So. We talk about the Sixers needing the space. Boston still has that weakness of rebounding. So I'm gonna give them that as orders is a nice spray bottle so they can clean their glass. Because if Canner down there and they can crash some boards, because the Bucks is one of the best rebounding teams in the league. Sixers, we talked about their height. They're gonna need to crash the glass and get rebounds because even Toronto is really really big. Toronto. Keon, what you got?
I mean, for Toronto, it's a little hard to say what they need sometimes because you see, to me at least, I see flashes of, good everywhere. So for them, I mean, they just need some consistency, to be honest. If this is what you want, especially if you end up in the first round, you primed to at least start off well. So if you can carry that momentum round to round, then you should be okay. The Nets aren't going to give you too much trouble. Your remaining 8 games aren't going to give you too much trouble. So just use this as reps to get ready. So I give them a day. Those pill boxes. Just make sure you're taking them pills every day. Make sure you're staying consistent. Keeping your weight up.
No, I got Toronto. The doctor needs to get them a special soap. And I'm talking about that soap from that movie 17 again from Disney. Because they need to flash back to last year when you got Kawhi, people injured, all that. You need all that to happen again. I mean, Siakam took a step, but without that big dog named Kawhi Leonard, man, I don't see how they can run the table again and get out to the finals and win the title. So they need that soap that Gene them was using on 17 again.
I'm with Keanu on that, and it's the model of consistency and this offense. But yeah, I think they just need a It's like the doctor really need them to get a closer because that's what they had in Kawhi. That's really all they ever needed throughout the last 6-7 years with DeRozan, Lowry, all them guys. They just needed a closer. And if the doctor can order them a closer, and if he can order something like that to them, whether it's Van Fleet, whether it's Lowry one game, Ibaka had some game-winning shots this year, Siakam emerged, and Marc Gasol coming back from injury. Any one of them guys can close either night. So So the doctor's order. I wish they can just go get Rivera from the Yankees out of retirement because he one of the best to ever do it, and to close. And if they can get a closer, I think Toronto Raptors can shock a lot of people in this playoffs. 'Cause right now they're the 2 seed. So, and that's crazy to lose a superstar and still be one of the best teams in the league.
Coaching, man.
Yeah. Oh, Nick Nurse. He got my vote coach of the year.
The coaching and the culture is undefeated.
Yeah. And let's start off with the Bucks, man. The number 1 team in the league as far as record wise. Rashad, what you got for them?
Man, the Bucks are in an interesting spot because if they don't win a title, all that Giannis stuff will start creeping.
Yeah.
So I said they need the paper mill, man. They gotta have to print a lot of money to get Giannis signed back. They gotta print them checks for them, man. You gotta go and sign that super match for him, man. Go get you a tree, get you a paper mill, give him all the cash you want. Because if y'all don't win that title, he might be out of there.
To Rashad's point, I think they need some earphones, some headphones, like some Bose, some Beats or something. They're gonna need some noise cancellation because, like he said, it's a lot of pressure on them to produce. It's a lot of pressure on Giannis to live up to MVP. So they're gonna have to cancel out a lot of that noise and themselves into a groove and know that they're capable. Because there is no looking forward to next season. You have to be right here, right now, every game, taking no nights off. So if they can get some noise canceling headphones and kind of cancel out whatever headlines and talking points there are, I think they'll be okay. Because once the bubble pops after the end of the season, whether you're on top or at the bottom, that's when you can start worrying about tomorrow.
Right. I'm gonna go with what are the guys that make a steel break and they can fix it back together.
My dad.
What?
He's not good at it. That's what.
But what's a blacksmith? What's that? Is that a guy with keys?
No, that's a lot.
Oh, lost. Hey, that's crazy. Oh man, I think blacksmith right there. I think. Oh man, but what I'm trying to say is the Bucks are going to be title or bust, and they're gonna need somebody who can fix if the engine busts, whatever, you need somebody who can fix it because you got to win the title. You got to get to the title because if you get there, cut all the noise out. Giannis is gonna stay in Milwaukee Buck forever. So you gotta get not a locksmith, but a blacksmith or something like that, or
a blacksmith does stuff with metal iron.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Now it's somebody Smith.
But you somebody keys, no, that's a lot.
I mean, maybe they will need the keys. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you need a locksmith to get key to the title, man. I don't know. That's funny. All right, so 3 teams we didn't mention, and I feel like they in the same boat: Utah, OKC, and the Pacers.
First round.
I don't know. It's like they all shocked everybody, and unless OKC and Utah play each other, and Pacers without Depot, I feel like these 3 teams are just like stuck. And
I feel like they are all 13-year-olds. So like they are just kind of like every once in a while you're like, oh, they could be adults one day, but then they do something childish and you're like, never mind, they still kids. So yeah, I feel like all of those teams are 13-year-olds.
Yeah, coming into the season, I had Pacers in the East Finals, but with all the Oladipo stuff, injuries over the last couple of years, will he play, will he not play, all that kind of stuff. Too many guys banged up. I'm not sure how they'll respond post-quarantine and scrimmage, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying I'm revising my pick, but I'm just not as optimistic about it as I once was.
You might go and revise that. Because we were both leaning on Depot being that man. And
Game.
Yeah. I think all 3 of those teams, the doctor need to get them something to get them out the mud. Like, I don't even know what you get people out of quicksand with, because that's what they need. Because I feel
call a record to pull them out.
Because all 3 of the franchises are going to like sink in the playoffs, and it's just what it is. The matchups is always going to be matchups, and I don't think they have advantage either way unless they play each other. So. Shout out to Utah, OKC, Indiana, though, because the small markets, they represent because they always be consistent, at least. And OKC, we thought was going to be sorry, and here they are. So that's what the doctor ordered. We got a few seconds left, man. Appreciate you, Kiana, for joining us today. It was fun. The doctor ordered COVID, man. So we'll catch y'all later. Preach Kev, preach with Rashad. We out.